Hello guys, good morning. So basically we are going to be discussing about I'll try to make this a white background so you guys can relate better with it. Mm, okay. Yeah, so I'll make it a white background so I believe you can see the white background better. So basically what we're going to be looking at we're going to be analyzing the volatility 10 index. Yeah, I'm going to be analyzing the volatility 10 index and let's see how it has played out so far. So basically this is the volatility 10 index, and I'll just be giving you guys a kind of a brush up on what we'll be looking out for on volatility 10 index and also what it has done so far, and how we're able to implement entries on this pair basically. So for the volatility 10 index, we clearly understood that there was a break of trend line which helped us catch these sells, and from these cells it has hit TP. So we tend to understand that okay, when it hit TP, which I'll be showing you shortly, there's also a point where we expect that the price would do what we call a retracement from. So basically price did a retracement from there, but at that point price actually gave what I would say uh, it stressed us. For me, I'll say it stressed us because not that we didn't expect that it will sell, but the way it was retracing wasn't really healthy enough for us, especially when it comes to picking entries. So that's what I would say. So basically, this was it. It hit this TP coming all the way coming from this point. So this retracement, we actually didn't know where the retracement would end, but at least for now, we can clearly say we now know that this price is going to clear the TP. So what happened basically? We had out. I You always know, guys. I like to analyze from the previous market price, and then we align it to the current market. So we have this one, we have here, and we have here. Okay. So basically, these were the two trend lines we have. We had basically, if we go to 4 hours time frame, I can readjust it. And then another thing we did was we marked out our lines of sensitivity, which were this area, this one. Now all of this has happened though, but I'm just going to use that for learning purpose. I would teach what I looked out for. So we marked all of these highs, which you can consider a break of structure. Those zones where structure was broken here, price was broken, we mark it out. Here, price was broken, we marked it out. Here also, price was broken on the daily time frame, we marked it out. And then um, here, price was broken, still marked out. Here, price was broken, still marked out. And then here, basically, we have what we can either call a double top. You can either call this place a double top where price didn't break out, or you can call this a level of mitigation because price mitigated it at this point. Yeah. So either which you want to call it is fine. You understand? We only start looking for confirmation when trend line is broken and when it reacts with our lines of sensitivity, or you can call it our highs. You get? So that's is that for that. So we'll simply go to the now. I know you all are expecting I would give you analysis on this. We are coming to that. So we always like to go from the higher time frame, look at what has happened so far, and then we synchronize that with what we are expecting to happen, and then we can take our reaction on price. So basically, trend line, cool, all of these levels marked properly. We also had this level marked, this level also here properly marked. So that helped us to understand that okay, we had levels here. This is also a level. That is also a level. This here is also a level. This here is also a level. So all of these zones are basically what we call levels that are properly marked out. So what happened when price? So now the thing is this: anytime price breaks into a new level, you either wait for a retracement to the upside and the continuation. You understand? So all of these levels, anytime from this break of trend line, anytime price breaks into a new level, you are waiting for a retracement, price continuation. Now it broke into this level. There's a zone here which, if you can see it here. You can see it. So price broke into this level, retraced to this point and dropped. Got into this level, retraced, tapped trend line also, respected mitigation, also dropped. So it broke into this level, retraced, dropped, into the new next level, retraced, dropped. You get? Just like that, up until price got to TP. Now when it got to TP, what happened? You can now see that a smaller structure now came up here. We clearly understood the reason for this retracement, which was price just hit TP now, so it will always make a little bit of retracement, which is normal, and that is quite alright and fine. But now the point is, we didn't actually know the exact point price is going to react from. So the first thing was when price moved from here, I was at this point trying to catch sales from this area, but mind you, sales didn't come. I waited for sales here. Sales didn't come. And price moved again to this point. I looked at it and understood clearly that we have a clear order block here which every person would have been waiting for to get tapped. This is it, this zone. Sorry guys, I don't know, it's not picking, but got that done. So we had a clear order block here which every person was waiting for it to tap. You get? And price got inside the other block and took out that zone. That was crazy, but it was still applying to our zone. You understand? Applying with this line of sensitivity. So the only reason why I was looking at okay, there's possibility for sales to come from this point was just this line of sensitivity. If not, this other block was taken out. And then some persons will want to come and say, okay, why not we pick this area as mitigation? That is quite alright, that is still cool, but remember that this area would have been picked for a mitigation and you saw how price pushed into the zone. You get? So this one quite alright, but not the best. Why? Because there was a break of structure here. So that was why using this line of sensitivity, which is this one, our level we marked from the original price point, the drop of price was the major thing. Now after looking at this, one thing I can easily say I marked out was to mark out my trend line from this point. So marking out my trend line from this point was one thing I did. We'll go down to the 1 hour time frame. So on the 1 hour time frame, what will you can now easily do on this 1 hour time frame is you can now come to smaller time frames to pick all these smaller break of structures to the upside in order to observe where price is going to react from while coming to the downside. Now we are looking clearly for this level to be hit as our TP 1 hour. You get this is a line of sensitivity, quite alright. So you're looking clearly for price to hit this TP on 1 hour, which is fine. But now what do? We have to now come here. So I will use this. I'll actually change this color. Let's see. I change to orange, and then I'll duplicate it so you can clearly understand what we are doing. So I'll duplicate it. I hope you all understand what I'm doing, because this is really premium information I'm giving out here. So yeah, so I said I'll duplicate this level 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically yeah, so I've picked this line of sensitivity here. So why we mark this line of sensitivity is we mark this line of sensitivity so that anytime price gets into the zone and retraces to the upside, we are clearly understanding that okay, price is reacting from our line of sensitivity. That means the other block or the level of resistance on the top side, which is going to test, should probably hold. So that's one thing we look out for when marking this line of sensitivity. So now we have this area here, which is cool. Now for the trend line, just in case, now we mark our trend line from this low to this week here. You understand? This low to this week. Now you're supposed to connect it to this point, but if we connect it to this point, it's still the same thing. It doesn't really shift anything. Okay, good. So now see why it shifts something. When we connect our trend line from here to this point, you can see wicks are coming below, so you don't want that. Two things you can do is either you adjust it to this point, allow your trend line be like this, which I believe I did, or now that price has broken to the downside, you can come and adjust it to this point. Now this week basically, but now because there's wick going below, we just want it to be rest on the minimum wick to get a complete candlestick break. So that is for trend line. You get now the trend line is just what we do. We tend to plot the trend line and allow price play out with the trend line. Basically, it's price does play out with trend line almost. I would say almost 78% to 90%. So now we have this line of sensitivity plotted out here, which is fine, and so we have this one. So where am I marking? I'm marking every point where price was broke, where price broke to the upside. So we have that one marked out. This is also a line of sensitivity marked out automatically, aligning with the main zone. The main zone, I believe you understand what I'm saying. So we'll simply plot this one out. This one comes here, which is this. Then now I would simply pick this one. Why am I picking this one? I'm picking this one because in all of this area, this was the point where price really broke to the upside before giving any form of retracement. So that's why I'm picking that area. Now, having done that, what are we looking out for? You find out that anytime price comes into any of these lines, it makes a retracement. So it came into this zone. You can see it made a retracement to the upside. You get, and from there, price continued to the downside. It got into this level here, which is our line of sensitivity at this price point. All of this area, all these orders here, what happened? It pushed from that point. It rallied to the upside. Quite alright, that is also fair enough. And what can you say again? It came back down to this zone, and what are we seeing? It's currently pushing to the upside. Now, I like what is going on here. Two things will happen. Either price would retrace to this upside, come back close below, and just try to hit TP, or it will go and take out this point, trying to tap this area of sensitivity again before dropping to the downside. Now if it goes to this point, taking out this high, tapping this area of sensitivity before dropping again to the downside, that is basically what I'll call a strong confirmation, you understand, for a sell. So now ideally I actually took sales from here, actually took sales from this point, and I'll be holding it. I have some positions either here. I'm going to be posting it on YouTube though. So I have some positions here, and we are anticipating price drops to the downside, at least taking out this TP, and then we can watch how price is going to react. Now we are on volatility 10, which we know we are clearly looking for. We are clearly looking at volatility 10 for a long term sell because it's on a downtrend. So I'll just simply pick this short to. I took my trade inside this line, this area, and now ideally any person will ask, where is my stop loss? Yes, my stop loss is a little bit wide. You get this high, not this high basically. It's a little bit wide, but it's just what price presented to us. So what price presented to us. So this is the TP. So this is the trade for volatility 10, and let's watch out how it plays out, guys. Let's watch out how it plays out. Do have a wonderful day, guys. One love. Peace.